Hey everyone, this is Amy with Simply Elizabeth Crafts, and this is going to be the last video for Brew Some Fun. I made a lot of projects with this one and decided I would just go ahead and put them all out there for you guys to see and to case if you would like. So we're gonna do what I call a step kind of card, and what that means is that we're gonna go from easy to a little bit more elaborate. A lot of people in the Stampin' Up world, they do this. Stampin' Up itself, they came up with this, I think it's called beginners, intermediate, and then advanced, something along those lines, a couple years ago. And really, even though you are a beginner, this card, if you are a beginner, this card is pretty simple all the way through. So, but I thought it would just be fun to kind of do something that was really, really easy, that didn't require anything but cardstock and stamps and ink. Obviously, if you don't have a lot of colors, you can do just one color all the way across. Not a big deal. Or you could even stamp it all in Memento and color them in if you're kind of a colorer. So anyway, there's lots of things that you can do with it, but it just takes it from really, really easy to a little bit more complicated. So kind of just stepping it up a little bit. So let's go ahead and dive into this card. We're going to start with this one just because it is the easier one. The most complicated thing about it is you're going to need something to clean your stamp if you decide to do all the colors. So the colors I'm going to be using is Melon Mambo, Daffodil Delight, Mango Melody, Granny Apple Green, Coastal Cabana, and Gorgeous Grape. This combo right here is probably one of my favorites. I use this quite a bit in cards when I need lots of colors. So, all right, let me grab my card base, and we're gonna just fold it over because we're stamping right on the card base. You don't need any additional cardstock for this. All right, then we are gonna take, I'm gonna kind of set everything out so that I can see it and it's easy to clean. And then the colors are kind of, I'm a lefty, so I have to arrange things for a lefty. If you did not know that. All right, so what I'm gonna do first, oh, and we're using black Memento for the sentiment. So what I'm actually gonna do first is I'm gonna stamp the sentiment. So what I need is, I need my It's Your Birthday, which is right here. Grab a bigger block. All right, and then we'll ink that one up. And the reason I want to start with this sentiment is because the cups are going to go kind of right above it. So I just kind of want to make sure that I place it properly with, and you know, to place the cups as well. The other thing is you really need this black Memento to dry in order to do your circles, because if you don't, you might get a little bit of this ink in your on your circle stamp. Okay, so we're gonna let that fully dry before we stamp over it. All right, let's start with our colors. So I'm gonna start with Melon Mambo on this side, and we're gonna actually work from side to side. When I was putting this card together, I did start kind of in the center, but realized it didn't really flow evenly for me. So we're gonna just start from left and we're gonna work our way right. So we're gonna start with Melon Mambo. We're gonna ink up there, and we're just gonna stamp it. There is no rhyme or reason to it. I did accidentally get a little bit there, but that's okay. We'll, you can't really see it. I need to not press so hard. Actually, let me do this. I'm gonna show you a little trick. If you have stamps that you get a little bit of that edge on it, take a pair of paper snips and just trim it right off. You want to make sure that you cut it at an angle so that you're not cutting the foam off of the bottom though. All right, I think that will be fine. We can do this side though really quick. All right. Now, I should not get that on my cardstock anymore. Ooh. Okay, back to it. All right, so then our next color is going to be Granny Apple Green. And I already cleaned the stamp, but you want to make sure that you clean it really good. And then we're just going to put this down. Now, I want it to not be in a straight line, so we're just going to kind of stamp it a little bit lower, okay? Next is going to be Melon Mambo. Clean the stamp. Yes, that makes a horrible sound when you do it, when you clean it, but this one we're going to put a little closer. There we go. All right, next will be Coastal Cabana. And then Gorgeous Grape and Daffodil Delight. Okay, one more. This is the longest process, is cleaning cleaning your stamp in between each one. But all right, so we're gonna stamp that one there. All right, so there's our coffee cups or our hot chocolate cups all in a row. So now what we want to do is we want to take our stamp set. And again, I showed this Thursday in the video. This is the little circle right out from behind or in the middle of this stamp right here. And we're going to use that. Actually, let me get a smaller one. We're going to get that and some of our Daffodil Delight. And we're just going to start stamping around, and we want to stamp off 3 times. So you're going to stamp it 3 times before you re-ink it. All right. And I might add, let's add one right there and right there. And there. Perfect. Okay, so that is our first card. You could expand your circles out a little bit more if you wanted to as well. But there we go. All right, so that's card number 1. That's the easy. And now let's step it up just a touch. And what we're going to do is kind of give it a little bit of a border. So we're going to start with basic white cardstock. And this is the thick. We're going to fold it in half, give it a good crease with our bone folder. Okay, we're going to take this and we're going to stamp our cups. Now on here, I only had 5 cups. The reason for that is I ran out of room, which is why, again, I'm going to start from the left and work my way right so that I know I have enough room all the way around. Because apparently I'm used to stamping center, and so that's what I did. I started the Melon Mambo at center. So, which is not a big deal. It, with Stampin' the circle, it kind of brought in that Daffodil Delight anyway, but we'll actually start from right to left this time, just because that was on there. All right, and then I really am going to make sure that they're not straight and in any kind of, that they're kind of wonky all over the page, so that it does fill in kind of that large area. Okay, so let's do Gorgeous Grape. And I'm closing all of my stamp pads in between so that I don't get ink everywhere, because that would be my luck as I put my hand down right in it. All right, next is Melon Mambo. And Granny Apple Green will be next. Okay, and then one more, which is Mango Melody. And then this time I've got them all on there. Yay! All right, so I'm going to pull out the Daffodil Delight again, but first I'm going to bring in my card base and I'm going to go ahead and stamp It's Your Birthday. Then I'm going to give it a second to dry. I should have done the It's Your Birthday first so that it could dry, but we'll get it to dry now. We'll just give it a few minutes. Well, not really a few minutes, but just a few moments. And so we will do this part, actually. We can stamp up here in our left-hand corner. We'll do our 3 circles. Just kind of giving it some little space up there. And then while we still wait for that to dry, we'll go ahead and attach this piece that we stamped all of our cups on. We're going to attach it to a Melon Mambo piece. All right. Add a little there and one down the center. Okay. All right, it's gonna go from end to end, but we just want it even on the top and the bottom. Like that. Okay, so this should be dry now. Let me just blow on it for just a second. Okay, so now what we're gonna do is we're gonna take that Daffodil Delight and we are gonna ink right on over it. You'll see I didn't do 3 on that one. Okay, and some of this is going to get covered up, but with our Melon Mambo piece, but I just wanted to make sure that I get it all good and covered around it. Okay, now we're going to take and just adhere this straight down onto our card base. Okay, and it's going to go again from end to end like that. All right, so this is card number 2. Still simple, still easy, but it steps it up just a little bit by giving it this Melon Mambo border. Okay, all right, last one. And this one is my favorite. All right, and y'all know how much I love to fussy cut, right? Oh, I guess you need to see the card, don't you? All right, so this is our card right here. Y'all, I'm in love with this card. I accidentally kind of came across this when I was just kind of trying to play around with stepping it up from this and couldn't really figure it out. So I just started playing around a lot. And of course, it meant that I ended up fussy cutting every single coffee cup out. And y'all know I'm not a big fussy cutter, but seem to be drawn to it quite a bit lately. So I went ahead though, so you guys don't have to watch me fussy cut. I went ahead and stamped all of them. And because you've seen me do it twice, so you don't need to see me stamp it all again. And I went ahead and fussy cut out all of them except for one, because I want to show you how easy it is to actually fussy cut it out, okay? All right, so let me grab a pair of scissors. Now, my suggestion is to just kind of start here at the top and then you'll just work your way around. But it literally doesn't take but a minute to do one, because it really is a lot of straight lines except for that little lip on the cup, but that's not a big deal because you don't even have to make it look great, because you cannot tell that there's like a little white square at the bottom of it, okay? All right, so we're just gonna go around the bottom just like that. We're gonna cut that off, then we're gonna go up, straight up, and around the little lip. And then we are done. See? Quick, simple, and easy. No mess at all. No fuss. And yeah. So, okay. Now, we need to stamp our sentiment. So we want to do It's Your Birthday, because this is all about birthday cards. I need some more for church members to send out for August birthdays. So I'm going to stamp that right there. Oh, man. Let's do that again. I guess it is catch the corner of all the stamps today. Okay, there we go. All right, which is why there's two sides to cardstock, which makes it perfect. Okay, so I'm going to actually bring in this small little cut and emboss machine from Stampin' Up. Move all that. And I am pulling out the Give It a Whirl dies, because y'all know this is my favorite die set right now. We're going to use this label die right here, okay? We're not using what it was intended for with the Give It a Whirl dies, but we are using it for this, because it is a perfect label for that. All right, run it through. There we go. And now we have our label. Now, with the Give It a Whirl dies, it does have a stitched border on the outside there, which is to go along with how those are supposed to be used, but obviously I'm not using it for that purpose right now. Okay, so let's do, set that aside and out the way. All right, fold our card base. We're going to attach this piece of DSP to it, and this is Melon Mambo DSP. Okay. We're going to attach it so that there's a little border up top and a little border below. We're going to make sure we get it to the edge of the card stock though. And it doesn't really matter if there's more up top than there is down below. Just make sure you get it even. All right, that is good enough for me. All right, so now we're gonna take this little strip of basic white, and we're gonna wrap some twine around it. And we're gonna tie a bow. I don't know if I have enough on this one, but I'm gonna try. I might. If I don't, I have an extra one. All right. It is a little trickier with this being a very small piece, but you can make it work, I promise, with the white being small. All right. Okay, let's try that again because I need a little bit more on this side. Okay. Touch more. Okay, now this should work. Let's try that again. It is awkward with this size basic white. I wasn't really thinking about that when I was putting it all together. I just found kind of a scrap piece and went with it, so. I do want to make sure that it is tight when I do it. All right. There we go. That's much better. All right. Now what we're going to do is flip it over and we're going to put dimensionals on the back of it. And I do want to make sure that I put quite a bit, just because it is a thinner piece. And I need to move that one just a little bit because it was hanging off. Okay, so I'm going to put 6 across there, but then I'm going to go back and put 1 there and 1 there, which will also help keep the linen thread in place. All right, take off all those backings, and then we are going to attach it from edge to edge. And we just want to make sure that it is straight. So I just kind of let it plop down, and I'm not pressing down on it until I make sure it's straight, which I think that's good. So we're going to do that. Now I'm going to fidget with this ribbon here just to get the tails. Sorry. To get the tails the right length that I want them. Okay. All right. I'm going to make it just a touch smaller. There we go. All right. Now we are going to start attaching all of our little coffee cups. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to kind of lay them where I want them just to make sure that I have my spacing right. And then we will adhere them with, oh, I need to start actually there. Okay. Then green and there. Okay. Now I'm going to get out my mini dimensionals and I'm going to grab a whole bunch of them on my finger. And we're going to put 1 at the top and 1 at the bottom. So that means it's going to straddle the ribbon or the twine. Okay. All right. And then I want them to be at different angles. So you can even put them a little higher or a little lower. Oops. That one took the paper from the backing sheet off of it. Okay, there we go. All right, and then this one, we'll kind of put that like that. Melon Mambo. We're gonna put the backings won't come off my finger. Like that. All right, and then we can put these 3 on. All right. Then 1, 2, and I just need 2 more. Sometimes these little mini dimensionals are hard to get off of the sheet. Or it could just be me. We all know it could just be me. Okay. So after Melon Mambo, we want to do, sorry, we want to do Coastal Cabana. And then we want to do Gorgeous Grape. Let's put that one kind of like that. And then our last one is Daffodil Delight. And it's going to go like that. Okay, so now what I want to do is I want to grab a scrap piece of paper. I want to take that circle stamp, grab my Daffodil Delight, and we are going to stamp over it with our polka dot. Okay, actually I think I like that. Perfect. Okay, Now we're going to take this piece and we are going to put a large dimensional on this side. So right there. And then we're going to put seal across here. Okay. And the reason for that is we're going to put the dimensional so that it's here on this side of the bow. And then it's going to lay across what's already popped up. So we don't need to pop that area up. And it's just going to kind of go right about there. Okay, so there we go. There's card number 3. So that is a little bit more intensive, but still pretty easy because the cup is easy to cut out. But it does step it up. It makes it look a little fancier. So there is card number 3, and then that's card number 2. And then this is the really, really simple, easy one. Okay. All right. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you guys have a great weekend. Don't forget, before I go, don't forget that August the 14th is the Artist Coop or Co-op, whichever way you prefer to say it. You do have to register directly through them for this class. So I would love to have you there, and that is in Winsboro, South Carolina. It is a live class. August online class for Simply Elizabeth Crafts is on August the 7th. Make sure that you register. There is a link on Facebook for you to go and order that class. And this one, it will be online. Starting in September, though, all classes will resume to back in person, and I'm so excited about that. Also, don't forget that I will have the mini catalog paper share that will be starting, and I will have a post on Facebook with this information as well. So I hope that you can join me for any of those. Just a heads up, I will have an in-person bingo on September the 11th. So it will be the weekend after Labor Day. So I will have, I actually did already post on Facebook with that information. So make sure you check that out. If you have any questions, let me know, and I'll see you next time. Bye.